Andrew Huberman's work provides fascinating insights into the effects of cannabis on the human brain and body. First and foremost, it is important to understand that the nicotine receptors and cannabinoid receptors in the brain are not designed for the consumption of tobacco or marijuana. Their function is to support specific endogenous processes, such as the modulation of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which binds to nicotine receptors and thus amplifies certain signals in the brain that are transmitted to the nervous system. When cannabis is consumed, the substances THC and CBD contained in it enter the brain and bind to the cannabinoid receptors there. These receptors are normally there for endogenous substances that work similarly to THC and CBD, but with much lower potency. This means that THC and CBD displace the endogenous substances and take their place at the receptors. As a result, the effects of cannabis can be much stronger than those of the endogenous substances. In extreme cases, this can lead to cannabis addiction, as the brain becomes accustomed to the strong signals from THC and CBD and the endogenous substances are no longer sufficient to achieve the same effects. The difference between the cannabis varieties sativa and indica is also interesting. Sativa varieties increase mood, attention, and concentration in the prefrontal cortex while simultaneously reducing stress and threat perception in the amygdala. This combination allows people to focus on a specific thing. In contrast, indica varieties reduce the activity of the prefrontal cortex and induce relaxation and sedative effects. However, they can also lead to significant deficits in short-term memory, as the activity of the hippocampus is reduced. Interestingly, there is no predictability as to how a person will react to a particular type of cannabis, such as whether they will experience relaxation or paranoia. Huberman also emphasizes the effects of cannabis on creativity. Cannabis increases creativity, but through changes in personality that immerse themselves in the creative process rather than directly influencing the neural circuits that, for example, activate creativity, says Dr. Andrew Huberman. Another interesting aspect is the increase in prolactin levels when smoking cannabis, especially in people who smoke more than twice a week. Dopamine and prolactin inhibit each other, which is significant for sexual arousal. Arousal can be suppressed when prolactin levels are increased by cannabis consumption, which is noticeable by a decreasing libido. Furthermore, Huberman points out the effects of cannabis on fertility. THC, not CBD, inhibits the gonadotropin-releasing hormone, which ultimately reduces testosterone levels in men and ovarian health in women. The consumption of cannabis makes people 4 times more susceptible to the development of chronic severe depression, explains Dr. Andrew Huberman. In addition, chronic cannabis consumption is not safe for the developing brain and body due to the thinning of gray matter that occurs. The risks include depression, anxiety, psychotic events, and the inability to balance mood. Finally, Huberman emphasizes that the more potent the THC concentration, the higher the likelihood of developing a severe anxiety disorder or psychotic episode later in life. While the research of Dr. Andrew Huberman and many other scientists points to possible risks and negative effects of cannabis consumption, it is important to stress that cannabis is also the subject of intensive medical research and can offer therapeutic benefits in some cases. The medical application of cannabis and its derivatives is currently being investigated in various fields, including pain relief, reduction of nausea and vomiting in chemotherapy patients, improvement of appetite in patients with chronic diseases, and more. As with any substance, responsible use and an informed decision are crucial. It is important to raise awareness of the potential risks and side effects of cannabis to help people make informed decisions about their consumption. If you don't want to miss further videos about interesting scientific topics, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell to be notified when we publish new short videos. Thank you for watching.